Hello, everybody. Welcome to the. Have we hit double digits? I think this is the 10th episode of the Oddcast Podcast.
Yep.
I am Halo Kirby. This I forget which direction sometimes, is Flint Quill, and today we'll be giving you it's
Just a smorgasbord of stuff, huh?
that's a good way to put it. 6 different gaming shows happened this last week. And there's a Nintendo Direct tomorrow at time of recording.
They're just beating us over the head with stuff.
Who needs E3? We have way more than we did before.
Yeah. So before we get into all of that, usually we like to do 2.5 truths, but this is episode 10. We have reached a not a decade. That's the wrong word, but something to do with 10, some kind of 10 related word. This is the denary episode, maybe. I don't know what the word is. So, we have reached double digits. Instead of doing 2.5 truths, I'll do I'll do something I like to call anecdotal antidotes, where I provide some fun anecdotes from my recent life experience on this blue rock of ours that we call Earth. And some of these might be reasonably considered to be neat, or even fun, if you will, during these troubling times. It's interesting because whenever you hear somebody say during these troubling times, you don't, if you take that out of context, they could mean this year, they could mean 2023, they could mean 2020, they could mean 2016. It really doesn't, you really don't know what troubling times is referring to. But you can rest assured that there are troubling times almost all the time during these last 10 years. So, anyways, I have 5 different things here. Number one, I'm going to send this one in the odd chat, the Oddcast Odd Chat, as we like to call it on Discord, and maybe we can put this on the episode. But I was walking around, campus, and I saw this delightful thing next to somebody's dorm room on their balcony, and I just thought it was so cool. So,
for audio listeners, what I'm looking at right now in the Oddcast Odd Chat group chat is a painted-on mural of 8-bit Mega Man onto the square bricks of a dorm building on a balcony.
Yeah, it's...
This is a beautiful depiction and an accurate depiction of the Blue Bomber as he jumps and shoots lemons.
That's right. So that's my first thing. My second little healing anecdote is the new slogan that Lego seems to have adopted for their marketing. I don't know about you, but I've seen some. I've seen some advertisements online from Lego, and the new slogan that they seem to have adopted is "Keep playing, see what happens." And I just find that is one of the most amusing things that I've ever experienced in my 23 years on this earth. I think it's just so fun. The fact that they would take this phrase that is normally something that you would hear a gangster yell to another gangster down the block in a dark alleyway, and they have turned it into something that is delightful, a recreational activity for children. And it makes sense too, keep playing and see what your imagination creates. It's wonderful.
And all I can picture is gangsters fighting with Lego guns. Anyways, continue.
Or even Lego lightsaber hilts, right? Check out episode 7 or 8. I can't remember which one where we rank lightsaber hilts. Anyway. The third thing that I wanted to mention is a recent interview with Gaten Matarazzo. For anyone who doesn't know this guy, he famously played Dustin in Stranger Things. And that's a show that recently finished up. I believe the finale actually dropped on New Year's of 2026. And I personally like the finale of Stranger Things a lot. At a certain point, I just kind of gave up trying to understand the magic of Stranger Things, and just kind of turned my brain off and had fun with that stuff. So if you can turn your brain off when it comes to the magic, Stranger Things is actually a very fun show, and I think they stuck the landing with the finale there. Very emotionally satisfying. But in this interview, I saw this interview. This is before the actual finale came out, and they were doing a press junket. And the interviewer asked Gayton, what exactly do you think is the Upside Down? Right? Is it this alternate dimension? Is it another universe? Is it a parallel universe? What's going on there? And he does his best in his very sagacious Gaten Matarazzo way of explaining, what the Upside Down is. And then the interviewer, based on just pure word association, I assume, asks him, okay, so what about, do you think it's the multiverse? And he kind of looks at the interviewer a little bit, and he's like, what do you mean by that? And I just appreciated that so much, because I think the normal, nice kind of knuckling under thing to do would be to say, I don't know, maybe, I'm not the expert, it's just a whole lot of fun. But no, he called the interviewer's bluff, and he was like, no, what do you mean by the multiverse? Because I think he knew, as well as everyone else did, that the interviewer did not know at all what the multiverse means, and just asked him because it sounds like the universe and there's some word association. And you can see that immediately play out when, her response to him asking what does she mean by that, she was like, it's like the thing they do in Marvel. And he's like, oh, okay, right. And so, yeah, just a little sneak peek. I do have, I think at the time that this episode is coming out, I will have a YouTube video coming out in maybe a half a week after this episode drops. And it does actually have something to do with the multiverse in it. So that's kind of what reminded me of this. But yeah. I just really enjoyed Gaten Matarazzo calling the interviewer out on their bluff there. I forget, did you ever check out Stranger Things?
I watched Stranger Things last season with some friends. I went there for the energy and the vibes, not so much the narrative.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't kept up at all. I had never watched it. And I only watched the last. I was entertained by it. I had none of the build up to what the fuck was going on.
That's fair. So my fourth thing here is I recently went and saw The Backrooms, which is a new...
I've been meaning to see that.
Yeah,
I have been meaning to see that. It was a good...
I think it was a really good depiction of what The Backrooms actually is. The Backrooms is kind of an interesting thing because it has sort of permeated in the zeitgeist of liminal horror, which, if you think about it, The Backrooms actually isn't really true liminal horror because there actually are monsters in there. So it goes beyond the liminality of it and ventures into actual monster horror and beast horror and stuff like that. I always thought that the sort of concept of The Backrooms was fascinating, and yet again we have another sort of success story of a person who established their audience on YouTube first and then went into cinema, which is pretty cool. So I thought The Backrooms was cool. I especially really loved in the movie how they explain the concept of the Backrooms, and they kind of put this sort of psychological mental health kind of spin on it. I really appreciated that integration of how they explain the Backrooms, and the way that one of the characters explains it is the things that you will find in the Backrooms are very uncanny valley, and they are sort of like things in real life but not really, just different enough to be upsetting. And so the way he explains it is imagine if you were trying to describe to someone what a dog is if they've never seen a dog, and then you ask them to draw it. Okay, well, that's what you might see in the backgrounds. So yeah, I just thought that was a really neat, unique interpretation of the backrooms that I've never heard, and it really works well for the narrative. So yeah, I would recommend it to anyone who likes horror films, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and finally, my fifth and final anecdote here is a little bit more of a serious one. Today we are going to talk a lot about art. And we have a lot of video games coming out. There was like 3 or 4 or 6 or 7, 10, 11 different showcases. And we are going to be checking out a lot of that stuff. I recently saw an interview with a very successful figure in the comic book realm, shall we say. I don't want to name drop just to avoid disrespecting anyone or hurting anyone's feelings. I have a lot of respect for the work that this person does, but I think that the things that they said about AI in the art industry was a little bit disheartening. And I just wanted to, with the very minuscule platform that we have on this channel, I wanted to kind of advocate for the right thing, because I think what some people don't understand is that, okay, sure, it's true that as technology evolves, some people will inevitably be out of a job. For example, we used to build wagons, and now we build automobiles, right? We used to use paper and pencil for everything. Now we tend to lean toward digital ways of communication, right? So technology will always be evolving, and jobs will always become obsolete over time. But the difference between that and AI-assisted art is that art is not for utility, right? Automobiles and digital communication and pen and paper and stuff like that, these things are used for utilitarian purposes. Art is not utilitarian by nature. Art is expression of concepts or emotions, right? And I think the sooner that we view art as the manifestation of the human spirit rather than some kind of utilitarian, pragmatic, cold and calculating thing that we can just use for pure enjoyment, I think the sooner that society will benefit, and society will kind of see that, oh yeah, we should probably start to phase out the AI generated phase that we seem to have gotten ourselves into in the arts industry. Even though it does save money, it's just a bad idea all around. So yeah, but that's about all I had to say about anecdotes. Did you have any thoughts before we get into our second little D&D thing?
In the last few minutes that we have of the segment, not really. Other than I was randomly texted in the middle of the segment. You should reply to that. It was a work text.
Yeah. Well, I with the few minutes we have left. So the last couple of episodes, for those unaware, we did a segment first called Dundqua, and then we did Da Dundqua. These stand for Dungeons & Dragons Q&A and Dual Dungeons & Dragons Q&A, respectively. Now, for this one, we are going to do Da Dundqua, which is the doubly delightful Dungeons & Dragons Q&A. This time, I have a ranking segment for you. We're going to do a blind ranking of D&D classes. Are you ready for this?
Shoot.
All right. So I'm going to give Clayton 5 different classes here from D&D, and he's going to have to rank them without knowing which one comes next. So the first one I'm going to give you is the monk.
4.
Okay. 4 for the monk there. Yeah, the monk.
I like a monk. It's an enjoyable class to play. I have gotten a lot of success out of it, but it's not my favorite to play.
That's fair. Okay.
You can hit a lot of people a lot, though. And it's pretty fun in that regard.
Yeah. It does seem like one of the simpler of the classes. So, okay. How about here comes the second one. What about the rogue?
I haven't played Rogue a lot. Rogue is probably the class I have played the least of to recollection. It was the first class I ever played because the group I joined up needed something that to kind of fill that role. So, I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay, fair enough.
Just out of I just haven't had that much experience with it in more like modern playthroughs or modern plays of D&D when the campaigns that I've joined or the ones that I've played.
Yeah, I've heard that the rogue can do a lot of cheesy stuff, but also you kind of run into the issue of constantly being skeptical that they might betray the party or something like that. So the third one here is the sorcerer.
Ooh, sorcerer is always fun. It was the class that I played when we did our D&D campaign in high school so many years ago.
Yep.
And it is the only class I've really naturally played level 20. That's where that campaign went. So I give sorcerer probably I'll give it a 3.
A 3.
Sorcerer's pretty solid.
Okay. The fourth one. So first we did the class that you played during high school, and now we will reference the one that I played. What about the bard?
Bard is always fun. Bard is very much like a very, how do I put it? He's a very melody-based multi-tool of a class, given the variety of things you can do with Bard, the variety of builds you can run with it. You can do a lot of variety in D&D songs, like really how to experiment with it. I'm going to give Bard 2.
Okay.
So I will get whatever number 1 is.
All right. Well, I had all of these planned out beforehand, so my apologies, but or maybe my congratulations, depending on your reaction. But your number 1 D&D class is the cleric.
Cleric being number 1 is fitting, given how useful clerics can be. It's just so rarely are they ever actually played.
Right. So, something I thought was interesting as I was looking over these classes is I thought, like, okay, let's compare the sort of 3 main, like, really mystical, magical kind of... Okay, that was no pun intended to the Benson Boone song, but yeah, let's compare all of the really ultra magical, fantastical classes, because it seems like we have wizards, we have warlocks, and we have sorcerers, right? And all 3 of those use magic in some very fantastical Tolkien kind of sense. And I've always kind of found the distinction among the 3 of them kind of fascinating, because I understand, like the sorcerers, their magic is more like intrinsic and innate, whereas wizards have to actually learn the spells that they can use. And then the magic that the warlocks use is kind of more arcane than the other 2, which is interesting. So I've always been fascinated with like the distinctions of magic in fantasy settings. I guess that's all I had to say about Dungeons and Dragons. Maybe we should go ahead and jump into the second segment and get into all of these wonderful games and announcements.
Sounds like a plan to me. Hello everyone, welcome to segment 2 of the Oddcast Podcast. Hopefully there are further interruptions from emails and things, and or the YouTube comment section informed me of my own mistakes.
We got to keep our head in the game.
Welcome to the usual media news segment, where we talk about everything from the previous week of things like all of the game reveals that happened over the weekend. There was some PlayStation State of Play, the Summer Games Fest, the sub-shows of the Summer Games Fest. That includes other announcements from other things like Independence and things like the Southeast Asia Game Show. The PC gaming event happened. The Xbox Showcase happened. There's a Nintendo Switch Direct tomorrow. I said Nintendo Switch Direct. I mean Nintendo Direct tomorrow.
Yep.
Ugh. So much stuff has been announced that as much as I would like to try and cram it all into like a little over 15 minutes, I really don't want to.
Yeah.
So we're just going to kind of pick and choose some of the stuff that we find interesting from the mini shows that went on. So starting off with the first show of the sort of onslaught of gaming announcements, the PlayStation State of Play happened, and we got quite a few number of things, but we're going to be talking about 3 of them. So Ethan, would you like to tell us about Until Dawn 2 that has been announced?
Yeah, so Until Dawn is, a game that came out a while ago, actually in the 2010s. I mean, it's a really cool kind of choose-your-own-adventure style thing, kind of a horror, young adult drama kind of thriller game. Basically, these young adults, these kids are meeting up with each other. College age people that are kind of doing this reunion, and they're meeting up at this sort of backwoods cabin kind of thing. And basically the idea is that there is this insidious threat that is basically threatening all of their lives. And the unique thing about Until Dawn's gameplay is that every choice you make causes this sort of butterfly effect, where every single decision that you make really massively affects the future. So you want to be really careful about the paths that you go down and all of that, and the amount of different branching paths and different endings is actually really cool. So yeah, they're doing a sequel of it now. This one seems to be set in a tropical island featuring a group of ghost hunters. So yeah, I'm excited. I am exceedingly excited. I kind of poor man toed that situation, but yeah, I'm excited to see what comes of that project.
It looks very good. I never really did get into the original, but I am curious to see if I ever pick up a second one. I may give it a swing. Who knows? We'll see.
Yeah.
It looks quite good, though.
Mm-hmm.
I'm quite intrigued. But as for some of the other things, 2 other things we're going to talk about is Marvel's Wolverine is finally gotten a proper gameplay trailer.
Mm-hmm.
At least to my recollection. I don't think it had one before. Just general seeing it more than what we already had. Insomniac, best known so far for their Spider-Man game in terms of dealing with Marvel, both Spider-Man 1 and 2 initially on the PlayStation, and also Spider-Man Miles Morales, did really well with those games. I think they are pretty stellar, all things considered. 2 had a bit of a less good story than the first 2, but I think overall their track record with the Marvel games has been very good. Yeah. And Wolverine looks really good.
Yeah.
I think the gameplay looks great. I think it looks like as brutal as it should be, honestly.
Yeah.
Given that you're playing as Wolverine.
Yeah. And
his power is claws made of unbreakable metal.
I really do enjoy the glossy, super realistic kind of 3D art style that we're going for here. It's a really dynamic kind of third person experience, it looks like. And yeah, Insomniac has just been killing it. I mean, they seem to be the only kind of notable company that's actually tackling these narrative-based Marvel games, because before this, I mean, the only I can't really think of any other significant really significant Marvel video game projects other than maybe like Lego Marvel or Marvel vs. Capcom or something like that. So yeah, it looks cool.
Pretty much other than Spider-Man, I can't think of too many, at least in recent memory, of these sort of high-budget narrative-based Marvel games.
Yeah.
But honestly, Wolverine looks pretty stellar.
Mm-hmm.
I think the game looks good. The graphic looks very good. It looks pretty comparable to the Spider-Man game. Those games look great. It looks like, I said before, but it looks brutal.
Yeah.
Even taking damage, you can see Wolverine get torn up in certain areas. I say you can see him heal. It's really good looking. It looks fun. I'm excited to give it a whirl.
as much as I love Hugh Jackman, he's not very short, and Wolverine is supposed to be short.
He's not very short.
I really like how he's short in this one. So I don't know. It's like such a superficial thing to comment on, but we're talking about comic books, right? So this is the type of stuff we talk about.
Yeah, I am very curious to see what this game's story is going to be like. I'm curious to see how it's going to play out, how it's going to start, where it's going to end. I will definitely be picking it up when it happens.
For sure.
Marvel Tokon got a new trailer. Also, it's PlayStation State of Play. Looks very good. We got some new characters. Look very exciting, very interesting. In the form of Green Goblin, Magneto, Carnage, and I think we got more gameplay of Doom. I think within this trailer, it's a lot has happened in State of Play, and I have a lot has happened in State of Play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was Doom, Magneto, Carnage, and Green Goblin. But
okay.
Marvel Tokon looks beautiful.
Yeah.
It looks so pretty. And I am so excited to give it a try. I am not a very big fighting game guy, but I will certainly be picking this up purely because, oh my gosh, it looks so good.
Yep.
Now we can go on the Summer Games Fest because, even more stuff got announced at the Summer Games Fest. I believe you had some points you wanted to make about the stuff that came out. So take the stage, my friend.
Yeah, so first of all, Sonic Racing is crossing over with Gojira and Evangelion. This is okay. We went over weird crossovers in the last episode too of Persona and Call of Duty. What the hell is happening? Is the world is nothing sacred anymore? I'm just kidding. It's cool to see though. I don't know.
I'm very curious to see. I think we've seen Godzilla on a map. We've seen the Evangelion Unit 1 in a map. I'm curious to see what the races are actually gonna look like. I'm curious to see what the cars are gonna look like. I don't know if we're getting characters. It didn't seem like we were getting characters from these franchises to be playable, but more we're getting these maps and the resources of these cars to be a digital spectacle to the whole thing. What it is cool.
Yeah.
Unexpected in terms of Evangelion. I kind of saw Godzilla coming because wherever Godzilla goes, wherever Miku goes, Godzilla seems to follow in her footsteps. So, right. I saw this as inevitable.
Yes, Godzilla is stomping right behind Hatsune Miku wherever she goes. So, yeah, maybe this is what the interviewer meant by the multiverse. Maybe this is the dystopian crossover hell that we're. Anyway. Yeah, I just thought there were a few different things. Pal World, as much as it is sort of a blatant ripoff of Pokemon, they're literally coming out of balls. But I do like the designs of some of these guys. The metallic looking Yu-Gi-Oh dragon at the beginning is cool. I love the green little creature that she sends out at the beginning. So they are good designs, admittedly. But and we have a cool looking Attack on Titan game experience there. I have always thought that the ODM gear,
Attack on Titan 3.
Yes, Attack on Titan 3. I've always thought that the ODM gear is just one of the most dynamic and cool looking I guess modus operandi of any anime combat system. It's just so dynamic and versatile with what they can do with the ODM gear and how they can fly around with it and grapple onto stuff. And yeah, I've always thought that ever since it came out in 2013, I thought, wow, this would be a great thing to experience in the context of an interactive experience, like a video game. And yeah, here we are. We're living in the future. So, and of course, Final Fantasy VII Revelation is the third part of the Final Fantasy VII remake that they've been doing. And I don't know. Do you? I think we briefly mentioned Final Fantasy Tactics in reference to comparing a certain game to it in the past. But I mean, do you have any experience with the Final Fantasy franchise?
I own some of the remakes on DS. I forget which ones specifically.
Yeah.
But there are some other remakes of the older games that are on DS that I own. And that's kind of about my exposure to franchises beyond, like... well, actually, that's not true. I did play Final Fantasy XIV, the MMO.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried to play an MMO on a PS4 controller, Ethan?
I can't say that I have.
It's the MMO, like the typical MMO gameplay of like having a bar of skills at the bottom of the screen does not lend itself easily to console, but they sure try.
Yeah, I can imagine that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy VII, it is definitely the most popular Final Fantasy game. It's the most culturally significant one. I think I personally prefer Final Fantasy VI, but 7 is great. The story is really cool. Obviously, Cloud and Sephiroth are very iconic. But yeah, I like so many of the Final Fantasy games. I mean, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 12, take your pick. I love all of them. So, I think other than that, we've got a couple other things. Hot Wheels Infinite Rush. I am honestly surprised that I haven't heard of a Hot Wheels game before this, but it seems like the perfect racing game opportunity. Yeah.
Like, honestly, I haven't heard of a Hot Wheels game coming out in a while, but honestly, seeing one made me really happy.
Yeah.
Like, honestly. Oh, what else was there? Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: The Last Ronin's getting a freaking video game made by Platinum.
Yeah.
That's gonna be awesome. We know nothing else about it other than the fact that it's in development and has been developed for a second and it exists. It's Platinum Games. It's gonna be good. It's always good. It's Platinum.
Do you have a favorite?
Like, it's just, it's cool.
Do you have a favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle of the 4 of them?
I like Michelangelo.
I also like Michelangelo. I think he's my favorite. Yeah.
Michelangelo's just cool. He's just cool.
Yeah, I think, as a kid, I used to like Donatello the best, I think, because I identified with him. I think, like, out of our friend group in middle school, I was kind of like the bookish, kind of nerdy one. As I've grown older, I have grown to respect Michelangelo the best because he is very scrappy, and he's like really enthusiastic, but also kind of a little bit reckless, and I kind of like that about him. So
yeah, honestly, yeah. And we got a new trailer for Star Wars Zero Company.
Mm-hmm.
Game continues to look fantastic. I'm very interested to play it. I'm excited to have a different kind of game set in the Clone Wars era as my personal favorite era of the Star Wars franchise instead of that period. And, well, next to the Old Republic. And it looks good. I haven't tried XCOM, but this is just Star Wars meets XCOM to what I can get a feel of its gameplay with each trailer that I've seen of it. And it looks good. And I'm very curious to see where it's going to go, what's going to be, and what it will... Well, what the story's going to really be. Because I only have sort of a semi-feel for it. And with that, let's be honest, I don't... You can look at half of my username what the third segment's going to be and what we're going to talk about for the Xbox Showcase.
Yep.
I hope you're prepared for 15 minutes of Halo Kirby rambles about Halo. Because that's what you're about to get in the next segment. Ethan.
Clayt.
We have Halo news, Ethan.
Okay, are you holding me at gunpoint or something? What is this like ominous
I am
camera?
viciously. I was holding the camera.
Okay.
I mean, I can hold you at gunpoint. I have at least 2 props over there.
Oh, delightful.
I have a TF2 pistol and the revolver from Signalis, and also a Halo Nerf Magnum.
How charming.
Before I go on a 15 to 20 minute tangent about the franchise that is half my username, because it looks really good. Quick highlights from the Xbox Showcase. We got a new trailer for Castlevania Belmont's Curse. It looks fantastic. We also got some full render art and some other, and just more like 2D animated pieces from the trailer, and it looks phenomenal. We have some new art, other stuff. It all looks great. Gameplay strong. looks really strong. I'm so excited, and it is a good time to like Castlevania.
God, I love how Rose Belmont looks. She's like so awesome.
Right? She looks fantastic. Like it looks so good. And the full art we got of her and Trevor, like old. It's weird to seeing like an old version of like video game Trevor because I'm so used to like the Castlevania like show Trevor.
Yeah.
So seeing him like in like reminiscent of his video game design is really interesting. But then again, I also can't help but think of every time I think of video game Trevor, thinking of Castlevania Judgment Trevor Belmont, who's covered in belts because he was drawn by the Death Note artist. Manga, that's the word.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
They do some good work over there.
Other highlights: Magician's The Devil's Deal looks fantastic, like visually. Like it's just. What a really good, like, visual display. So does Clockwork Revolution. We didn't mention that either, but it also looks really good.
Oh, yeah, Clockwork.
Yeah, The Devil's Deal.
The Devil's Deal. I always loved, like, that kind of old-style, like, magician kind of aesthetic. Like, the type of thing you see in The Prestige, for example. Like, I just love the idea of something where we don't even have technology yet in this version of Earth, but you know they are still trying to hearken these mystical things. That's just like a really cool juxtaposition to me.
Yes, it looks good. Like we got some what I assume to be like proper gameplay. It's hard to tell kind of between the animated and like the actual gameplay because it's that kind of like it's got a good stylization to it.
Yeah,
and it looks good. Looks really freaking good.
For sure.
I'm curious to see what'll happen of it. Other things. Persona 6 got announced. Don't know really anything else about it. But other thing, because it was just a teaser trailer, the fact that it exists. But hey, Persona people, I know you're really happy.
Big stuff.
I'm really happy to get a really good. Oh yeah, I'm really happy to get a really good soundtrack. I haven't really tried Persona. I've played Persona 3 Remake a little bit when it was on Game Pass. It might still be on Game Pass, but I didn't have the time to. When I started. I didn't have the time at the moment dedicating myself to a JRPG. Just didn't have the time. But the music's always killer, and I'm always excited to listen to what it's going to sound like. And last, quick thing, the game Vivarium, I think that's how it's supposed to be pronounced.
Yeah, looks
fantastic. It's a life sim like adventure game that's all hand illustrated. It looks beautiful. And honestly, in the time we live in, a completely hand illustrated game in a genre that isn't really like as popular in a major like announcement showcase. What a beautiful thing to say.
Yeah.
I'm honestly probably gonna pick it up purely because it would be so different to what I usually get. And I think it's great.
Yeah.
I think it looks great. I think I'm very interested to see what it's going to be. And, yeah. All right. It's time. It's time for me to do my thing.
Lay it on me, gamer.
Oh, my God. It looks so good. Like, holy. The swap to Unreal Engine. Like, okay. I liked how Halo Infinite looked. I liked how a lot of the previous Halo project looked. Maybe not in terms of art style, in terms of Halo 4 and 5. But, like, this, swapping from the Slipspace, or I think it was Slipspace engine of Halo Infinite to Unreal, clearly was the good call. There were a lot of development. Infinite had a very, I don't know if I want to use the word hellish, but I'm going to use hellish development cycle with a new engine and all that stuff that was built for it. And it was a process that just didn't lend itself well to being like, to have extra people work on it. And the way it was all handled, there were a lot of problems in Infinite's development, right? But swapping to an engine that's like a lot of standard base with Unreal Engine 5, it looks pretty. Like, it looks great. There's so much to talk about, right? On one hand, yeah, it's Halo Combat Evolved again, and they're like, there's the original, there is the remake, and then you can get it on MCC, which is technically just the initial remake, but with but with like some additional content added on due to being an MCC, because they've added like a lot of like older content back into it, or like unused content into it. I believe that was the thing that happened. But with this, it is the problem with the initial remake of CE, Halo Combat Evolved Anniversary, was that it was based on the PC port, if I'm not mistaken, made by Gearbox. And that port is, how do I put it, not the greatest visually. Like, there were a lot of elements of the original visual design that were kind of like lost, like particle effects, certain elements were just lost. It just doesn't look right in terms of classics, like in terms of like when you have the original graphics on, and then like the updated like anniversary graphics was mostly a Halo Reach like asset port. Essentially, a lot of the assets were just reused from Reach or like tooled up to fit more of Halo CE, but this, while Halo Campaign Evolved is still kind of very much in element A, is using elements of the previous games, like models and certain things. It's using some elements of like Infinite's design and everything to do this. I think the swap to the new engine, thus allowing it to be more accessible to the multiple crews that, from my understanding, has been kind of opted out with 343's new shift into being Halo Studios. It has been a process. And I think what I'm looking at right now, with both the cinematic story trailer and the Operation Meteorite new mission trailer, looks great. Mm-hmm. I'm excited. I think the new weapons they're adding from the previous games are going to just to add more to the sandbox is going to be good. I love the way pretty much everything looks. I'm curious to see what the like new story prequel missions are going to be. I'm curious to see how what the expanded cutscenes are going to be like. I think the only thing really missing from this to me is the fact that it does lack a traditional PvP multiplayer. That is the part that I think most people are kind of hung up on, is that it lacks that. But it does add into something that Halo CE never had before, which is 4-player multiplayer. Halo CE never really had that. It had like co-op, 2 people, and also it brings back couch co-op, something that has been really missing from Halo for a while in terms of the newer titles. Was it in 5? It was going to be in Infinite, that ended up not being put into Infinite. But it's got couch co-op for at least 2 people. It has 4-player online. It's coming out on PlayStation. It's got cross-play. Campaign Evolved may be missing some elements, but honestly is squaring up to look really good. And look, in the Operation Meteorite, the prequel mini campaign they're putting on, the prequel missions, they put the Master Chief in Mjolnir Mark IV, which is the armor he was wearing before he got Mark V, which is the armor that appears in the original Halo CE and in this game during the major campaign. Mm-hmm. Mark IV is my favorite look for the Spartans. Okay. Purely I really, really liked Halo Wars when I was a kid, and that is where the general design for Mark IV comes from. That bulkier look has always been preferred to me. And when it was added in Infinite, it's the only thing I ran. And seeing it in this new game, in this new style, on the titular character of the franchise, just made me really happy. He looks great. Not only that, it's also clearly drawing from the Halo the package, from Halo Legends, the armor that Chief wears in that, which is sort of a stylized version of Mark IV as well. Has a very similar helmet, has some of the same paint app markings in certain areas. You can tell from the lines on his arms, for example. And it looks great. I think he looks fantastic. I think Johnson. Sergeant Johnson has a new voice actor and a new design. And I think the design is great. I liked Johnson's look in Halo 2 Anniversary quite a lot. I think this new design kind of fits him a little better. It gives him a more fuller mustache. Makes it look a little older, which makes sense. And what else is there? I say that, but I could ramble on for an hour on this, honestly, breaking the stuff down.
So
But I'm trying to keep my initials just yes.
yeah, I do have a question
Yes.
about the trailer. Actually,
Shoot.
I believe this was in both the story and the new missions trailer near the beginning. There seems to be a little tiny ship that rams into another ship, and it almost looks like a docking thing, but it also might be an offensive maneuver. You know what the deal with that is?
Oh, like the thing that the big purple ship that like attached to the small one attached to the big like silver one?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is, I believe that is a I think it's called the Tick. It is a Tick assault craft, boarding craft. It's a Covenant vehicle that will essentially stab into enemy ships and bore into them and open up to reveal a squad of Covenant units.
Okay.
They are for offensive boarding patrols.
Interesting. It did
Very
look
cool. We don't see that. We hear it like in the original. We hear it happen. Like we hear like the ship. We feel like see the screen shake a little bit. Hear the ship like groan.
Yeah.
We never actually see it, but in the expanded cuts we get to see that, and that's very cool.
Yeah, because I was like, is that a docking maneuver?
Yeah.
But it also looks a little bit too aggressive to be that. So yeah, thanks for it.
It is a boarding maneuver.
Okay.
Other elements. Speaking of Johnson, the new voice actor. So David Scully stopped voicing Johnson a little while ago. He stepped away, I think, just in general from voice acting, if I'm remembering right. He stepped away just to kind of just focus on his family, just to step away from just from voice work, which is completely respectable.
Yeah.
I think the new guy is doing a pretty good job. I think Scully hasn't voiced Johnson in a decent bit of time. He didn't voice him in Halo Wars 2, though the guy there is not the same as the new guy voicing him in the remake in Campaign Evolved. In Halo Wars 2, he was clearly doing much more of an impression, and this new voice actor, I don't think he's been announced yet. I can't find his name. I may have to double check in post to make sure. Is clearly doing his own direction, and I think in some areas he really, really works, and in others he doesn't. But I think I definitely have to hear the voice more to like get a good feel for it.
Right.
And we see new weapons. We see like a redesign of the Spiker. We see the Brute plasma rifle to show up. We see the SMG. We see the energy sword, all things that were not in Halo CE originally. We see the fuel rod gun, which was available in the PC port of Halo CE, but with Campaign Evolved, is using like an updated version of the Reach design. We see a lot of things in the trailer. We see the prequel missions especially. We see like a lot of like new color schemes, new armor sets for the Covenant enemies. Very much like that white and gold kind of look for this prequel. Also, again, to kind of double back on Johnson for my lore people out there, he's wearing Orion. Ethan. So Orion... the Orion armor, which you see him wearing in the Operation Meteorite trailer.
Yep.
Little fact about the Sergeant Johnson is that he is a Spartan 1, or the Orion Project.
Okay.
It was humanity's first attempt in the lore to make super soldiers to varying degrees of success.
Mm-hmm.
Rather than the Spartan 2s, which were essentially kidnapped children, trained from young age to become super soldiers. The Orion Project was adults already active in the military and was in it. They were humanity's first attempt to try and create that. The Orion armor that he wears is based on the Macworld trailer of Halo CE back when it was a very different game. And it has since been reintroduced into the canon through appearances in, I believe, Halo 2 Anniversary on MCC and other things to be essentially the sort of prototype armor to everything that we would know of in the rest of the franchise. And we see him wear that, which I think is very fitting, being that Sergeant Johnson himself is a Spartan 1 or an Orion soldier. It's very neat. A very fun detail. I wonder if he'll actually use that missile pod on his shoulder.
Is it a Chekhov's missile?
I don't believe we've ever seen it been used by anybody.
Yeah.
Who knows? Oh yeah, we also get the return of the stanchion rifle. That thing's always pretty sick. That sniper rifle he was holding in that trailer.
Oh, okay.
Is a very special weapon. I believe it to be like a railgun rifle, essentially. Hold on.
Yeah.
I've been yapping too much.
Looks cool.
Like I said, it's going to be coming out on all major platforms, including PlayStation, for the first time. Halo will be available on the PlayStation. And it looks great. It's got crossplay, it's got 4-player co-op, 2-player local co-op, and though it lacks a proper multiplayer, I think it'll still be a great game and will hopefully give people hope for Halo 7. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Lord, I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I would buy it regardless. Maybe one day, maybe I'll get lucky and actually manage to get a collector's edition for Halo Campaign Evolved, because despite being out for only a day, they're already sold out. Because, people gotta resell on eBay for triple the price, because they always gonna do that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, one other thing I guess we can talk about when it comes to the Halo Campaign Evolved is we got some better pictures of the skin, like the optional skin pack you can get for this game. Honestly, they look pretty neat. We have I posted them in the Oddcast chat for you to look at, my friend.
Yeah.
They're all very different. We have like a Spartan. Technical difficulties are trying to prevent me and silence me from talking about the Halo franchise, Ethan.
Yeah. Well, don't let anything stand in the way of your passions, especially these gnarly-looking skins. I have to say the pink geode crystals are intimidating me through the screen right now.
Yeah, that is the same pink crystal that the Needler fires. Fun fact.
Oh,
AKA,
okay.
That's one extremely volatile set of armor. You stub your toe in that set and you explode.
We should also address the Trojan military soldier shaped elephant in the room here. That's
You mean
that's
the Spartan?
Yeah, Spartan. Yeah.
He's a Spartan. I mean, it reminds me a lot of the near the end of the MCC and in some parts of Infinite, they do fractures. Fracture events where there's peering into different universes, because it was kind of a big thing to do at the time,
right?
And they would do special armors and things you wouldn't expect in the actual series, but things you could just kind of have fun with. It kind of reminds me of that. Same with the pink crystal armor. Honestly, that's really goofy. It's I've heard people complain about these, and honestly, I'm well, A, they're optional. You don't. B, they're in a single-player game. They're just kind of for fun, and it doesn't really matter. And
yeah,
they're just kind of goofy. The Spartan's kind of fun. The Blabot Arbor looks like something I could probably see in Fortnite, but also I don't see that as entirely a bad thing. I really do like the what's it called? The Timberwolf, the one with the skull on the arm, the more stealth look to it with the leaves. I think that looks kind of fun.
Yeah.
I don't think I sent you the weapon skins that go with it. I think they're just in the article, but I'll put them up on screen too. But I think you can. I think if you look down below what I sent you, you'll find the full splash screen with all the skins and the weapons on the side as well that go with them. I love Master Brick over here. What if Master Chief was a mech? Well, I think he looks honestly kind of fun. He's so square.
What if Master
He's
Chief
so square.
was yoked?
What if Master Chief... correction. What if he was more yoked?
Right.
Chief's already pretty yoked.
Yes, my apologies.
Also, and the Hunter, like the one based off the Hunters, like the Lectolo, like worms, moving underneath the armor with the green visor, the blue armor, that looks really sick.
That's probably my favorite one.
Like that just looks... It just looks... Taking an enemy design and like remixing it into like a player character design is so cool.
Yeah.
Like it's so cool looking.
For sure.
And again, if you look below what I had sent you, you'll find like the splash screen with the Alpha arm, like Alpha Halo Armory pack with all the skins. You see the names of them, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I love the battle rifle for the Spartan looks kind of it looks okay. The Savage Tooth Sniper rifle for the Timberwolf skin, I think looks really cool. It's a little much, but I really do like the jawbone is it's pretty metal looking. I like it in that regard.
Yeah.
Maybe a little too much, but it is cool. The Supanese Fang, the Needler energy sword, is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen.
It's pretty neat.
The prototype Spanker rocket launcher, I think it works well with the mobile armor type 117, the big Master Chief mech skin. I think it works well with that. It kind of reminds... I would have to see it in animation to see how it works, because it kind of reminds me of the Halo 5 rocket launcher tube, and I don't really like that. But also, it's a lot bulkier than that, so it does still kind of have the classic Halo like revolving barrel Spanker rocket launcher energy. But I have to see how it looks animated. The Colossus fuel rod gun for the Gestalt skin looks incredible. That's amazing. That should, if I had it my way, that would be just its own gun.
Yeah.
Just its own unique gun in the sandbox. And the Cold Iron, the UNSC Cold Iron is look. It actually appeared in the cinematic story trailer as the gun that Captain Keyes hands you in the beginning of the game. In the original Halo Combat Evolved, he hands you like a standard Magnum. It's his personal sign. He doesn't keep it loaded. That's the whole part of the opening. Pretty iconic part of the opening for Halo Combat Evolved. And in the cinematics trailer, we see this gun make an appearance, the Cold Iron, and it is a very decorated with a wooden handle. It's very, very nice looking.
Yeah.
And that either tells me that these cutscenes either take the skins you have into account, or that is a unique element given to this cutscene and given to the opening. Which, if it is, that's actually very cool.
Mm-hmm. I
think it's a very cool detail.
The Colossus gun specifically.
Yes.
It looks. It's one of those guns where it looks like, you would need to slot out a 15-minute time slot in your schedule for the day to actually shoot the damn thing. It's. I think it's appropriately named, honestly.
It's just cool looking.
Yeah.
And as much as I could have rambled the entire episode about how awesome all this is and how excited I am, I'm always excited when there's new Halo.
Yeah.
There are some people who are who are optimists, or cautiously optimistic, or cautiously excited, or people who are just never happy. But there are plenty of people who are never happy in any franchise, I've come to learn, and that's awful.
Yeah.
I've never understood people who will complain constantly about a thing, but never seem to actually take any enjoyment out of anything. And I'm like, dude, why are you still here then?
Yep. Nobody hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, right?
Honestly, that's kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah.
People are mad Anakin Skywalker is in Zero Company, a game set during the Clone Wars.
Yeah, can't please anybody, right?
Some people are mad at that. I'm like, but it's set during a time period where, he was the most active.
Yeah.
And He's like one of the most popular characters in the franchise. Why would he not get like a cameo mission or something?
Yeah, I know, right? Strange.
I was like, come on, guys, think about it for like 2 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I can understand when people are like maybe a little miffed at like these like the skins for Halo campaign evolve. I get it, like, but it's entirely optional. You don't need to use it. You don't even need to buy it. It's I don't know. It just like it's kind of I get it. I get why some people like don't like some of these. I can see why, but also I can just enjoy the silliness of the splintered wardens just stub your toe and immediately detonate look, because that's made of needles. When there's enough of those in one place, it'll explode.
Yeah.
I like the freaking Spartan of the Lochagos? Lochagos.
Right.
Armor, like in Halo Infinite, I rock a skull on my right arm. Like, I have that on my player character in Infinite. So the Timberwolf is just... I think... Okay. The hood on the... I just noticed the hood on the Timberwolf, and that is a little silly. But I kind of love it for being silly.
Who are we to deny anyone of their edgelord fantasies, right?
Mm-hmm. Like, I just like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's optional. You'll only take notice of it. You see it in first person, and when you die, or if you're playing in co-op and someone else has them on. Oh, one other detail.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to mention real fast. I've been trying to pull more images from the Xbox news site. But there is this image of above all the skins I sent you, below your Mega Man, that shows 2 Master Chiefs in fighting against some grunts. And we see, obviously, there's the one near the front, which is Chief, but we see the one in the back, and I zoomed in on it. That is a much how do I put this? That waist is much smaller, and that looks much more like the female model types from Reach. So, which I saw a post about it, and it was like, if that's real, which it does appear to be, and that is to be the case, that the player 2 character is a female Spartan in Mark V, people are saying that could be Linda 058, one of the characters that has appeared somewhat in the games and is mostly a novelist character, a very important character to the Master Chief, who was cryo-frozen aboard the Pillar of Autumn, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Though I believe in the actual narrative, she is clinically dead by Installation 04, was cryo-frozen, and then resuscitated after the fact.
I see.
But if she's a player 2 character, who cares? It's fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm just looking at the model. It does remind me of how the body types of the Reach, like female Spartans, and I don't think Chief has that snatched of a waist.
probably not.
And I've gone on for an extra 11 minutes. Oh wait. 10 seconds till 12. So
All right.
With that, everybody, I am not going to drag this out any further, despite the fact I could actually talk about every little detail in this for like an hour. There's so much stuff. I'm so curious about what the story for the prequel missions is going to be. I have like ideas of what they could look like. I have ideas of what to connect to in the narrative. I am excited to play this with my friends who haven't had a chance to actually play the franchise or haven't really experienced it beyond like playing the multiplayer. And I really hope it's good. And I hope people like it.
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot more positive buzz around this, and I hope that continues even after it releases. You can't make everybody happy, but for the love of God, if the community can be happy for more than 5 minutes and not ruin it for themselves, I will greatly appreciate it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a noble goal worth fighting for.
God bless John Halo. Goodbye, everybody. I hope you have a good or odd day.